Corinthians 7:40. Whoever she is, happier if she remains as she is. That is my opinion. And I suppose I have the Spirit of God as well as other people. Sometimes, rather than doing what's culturally accepted and what's culturally pushed, the Lord wants us to, as long as it ain't sinful, to keep doing what's making us happy rather than change that. Sometimes. Esther 8, 9, and 10. Then the king's scribes were called at that time, in the 3rd month of Sivan, of the 23rd day of the 1st month, which is Nisan. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded to the Jews, to the satraps, the governors, the princes of the provinces which were from India to Ethiopia, 127 provinces, to every province according to its writing, and to every people in their own language, and to the Jews in their writing and in their language. Okay, it's most likely that this may have been one of the first times since that anything was written in Hebrew. In fact, since the exile, they were trying to remove them from that way of thinking, so they made them use their language. Um, but that's not the point here. The point is the known world at that time was forced not to do anything to the Jews. Now, when the Greeks would overthrow Persia, this would no longer exist. And just like when Cyrus, um, Darius, or made the decree, it didn't last when the Persians took over, but it is protection for a time. We know eventually that protection went away, the earthly protection, but that we see them somewhat always having a heavenly protection because they're God's people. God made provision for them. And you know, when we serve God, when we trust Him, God makes provision for us. Sometimes it may seem like He don't, but He does. He's always doing that for us. The next verse. What is the next verse? 11 and 10. He wrote in the name of King Artaxerxes and sealed it with his ring. So he wrote it in his name and he sealed it. This means it can't be undone. Persian law can't be undone. So this has to be fulfilled. It stands until Persian law no longer matters, which is when the Greeks rule the world. And sent letters by carrier on horseback, riding on royal horses that were bred from swift steeds. So he sends it on fast horses. This most likely means he's just starting to try and do this as quick as possible, get it taken care of. When God gives us something to do, oftentimes we need to take care of it as quick as possible. And this isn't saying we need to take our time, don't take our time and diligence on it. It's just saying we don't need to rush. We don't need to rush through it, but we don't need to take our time getting to it.